everybody, it's Gail from Gail's Bookish Things. I'm back with a week number 7 update for Ink of the Week. Here's my evaluation. This past week, in my Lamy Safari Aquamarine, I had the Kujaku, the Pilot Iroshizuku ink. This is a broad nib, and this is a broad nib. And in this Lamy Mango, I had the Lamy Tourmaline ink. Both of the inks are super similar, and it was really fun to compare them in identical type pens versus a Kaweco and a TWSBI or whatever, which is what I have done, and that works too because I want to see which nib I prefer with which ink. But this was a fun comparison, and I liked doing it because the nibs were the same. It gave me just a very consistent point of reference or something, maybe you could say. Let's see, they don't want to say straight. We'll let them roll over. So anyway, I liked both of these inks. I already had the Kujaku and I had the Lamy Tourmaline in a cartridge I had bought when I first bought my Mango Lamy a year or so ago. Used that up. Now I'm ready to use my bottled ink in that. When I bought the Lamy Tourmaline, I forgot that I kind of didn't forget that I had it, but just didn't think about it because I don't have that many bottles of ink. But they're so similar. I may not have bought the Lamy Tourmaline had I been using my brain because it's so similar to the Kujaku, but it similar and yet different, and I gotta say I really like both of them. So to pick a favorite with these two inks would be really hard. I wrote the name of the ink today again with the pen in which it was contained, and I just concluded that the Kujaku was just a little more wet as it came out of the pen, but I feel like the Lamy Tourmaline shows a little more sheen. And I don't know, I'm trying to look to see if that's blurry or not, or if you can even detect that via, the phone camera, but they both have a pink sheen to them. Excuse me, every time I get on here I start having to clear my throat. But it seems like the Tourmaline one was more pronounced on this Tomoe River paper. But the blues are very, very similar. This is a little bit more blue. This is a little bit more teal. I looked up Kujaku and it was blue from a peacock's neck. And tourmaline is, there's lots of tourmalines, but there is a blue tourmaline ink in particular, rock in particular, which I assume the Lamy Tourmaline ink is named after. I think it's supposed to have O in there. I keep doing TUR, but I think I wrote it proper down here, properly. Not sure, but you get the idea. I wrote on my comments, well, okay, let's back up. The impressions, both inks write smoothly and feel very satisfying to write with. I didn't start writing think, oh yeah, it's kind of dry, or oh, this is scratchy, or I don't really like how this looks. Both of them were what I would call, for me, a delightful writing experience. I checked like and would buy because I have already bought them. But what I did decide to do is narrow it down. Now, if I ran out of one of those, if I ran out of the Lamy Tourmaline or the Kujaku, would I want to replace it right away? And I think, practically speaking, while I still have one of those in the ink bottle, I probably won't replace the other. But when they're both gone, then I would have a very hard time picking out one of those two inks to be my tealish turquoise blue type ink. Yeah, that's what I said there. So I probably wouldn't replace it right away, but when they were both gone, I would have to decide. But so similar, and I don't know if they're designed to kind of mimic one mimics the other, if it's just how it is in the ink world. Just right here, you know, there's more shimmer. And I really like the brightness of the tourmaline. But then I also am very much drawn to peacock type blues, a rich deep blue, kind of a turquoise blue, maybe you would call it. So very, very nice, both of them. I loved writing with both of them. I still have some ink left in my aquamarine Lamy, so I will probably use that up before replacing that. But like I said, I cleaned this guy out because let's talk about this coming ink of the week. Went ahead and got those set up. I will not start using them, you know, well, I may start using them because it is the weekend, but I probably won't do a whole lot this weekend because it's Mother's Day. Anyway, in my cement gray TWSBI Eco, again, a broad nib, I put the Monteverde Scotch Brown. And this one, well, you can't see it, I'll hold it up, but I'm probably about a third way done with it. It's a 30 millimeter bottle. And I also put that ink in my Kaweco Golden Espresso, also a broad nib. I thought it would be fun to have the brown ink in this kind of coffee colored pen. You know, just looks so pretty, and I think it'd be nice to write with it. I tested them a little bit right here. This is Rhodia paper. They came out super wet, though interestingly almost darker brown on from this one. And I thought it was, well, I should close this up here. I'll show you my other quick writing sample of those, and we'll see how it plays out this week. This is on Stalogy paper, so it didn't, I really love this notebook, the feel of it, the size, and it's great for keeping notes, but I don't think it was a paper, is a paper that works really well with these inks. It just looks like a boring brown. However, when I wrote on my, updating my pens that have ink in them, currently writing with them, when this went down, it came out of the Kaweco like drenching the paper. It might be because I just filled it. That's how I wish these wrote all the time. I've been talking to some of you out there, and we both said, what's the deal? Why are they seeming to dry out or run dry after a writing session? So I don't like that. But I do like the writing experience when it's flowing well. So it'll be interesting to see if this Monteverde, if I'm saying that right, Scotch Brown will continue to flow well from that pen. But it had this amazing shading when it first went onto the paper, and it looks to me like it's kind of evened out a little bit. One thing I look for a lot of times when I buy an ink is a neat shading effect. I think that's one of the things I'm really drawn to about some of the inks. So it doesn't really seem like that's staying. This is also Tomoe River paper, by the way. And then the TWSBI Eco Cement Gray, kind of interesting there too. It does again look lighter here because this was so saturated as it went down, and it almost felt drier from this pen. So I was thinking after I filled them, maybe even having a third TWSBI or one of the Kawecos with the same ink, but adding the White Lightning to see if a little bit more of the ink lubricant additive would make it flow a little bit better out of here, really. I guess it doesn't, well, flowed okay there, but to make sure it doesn't dry out, or to try one of the pens with the additive and see if I like it better with the ink additive. So that's where I'm headed for this week. I've been using a lot of ink up. Let me show you. I have it here somewhere. Oh, I don't. I have my other TWSBI Eco elsewhere. I had the Black Heart of Darkness in it, and I wrote and wrote and wrote, and went dry with that one, and added the not the Heart of Darkness, but the Noodler's marine green to it. And I also wrote dry my Pilot Petite pen. This has been a super fun pen. And I just wanted to say, like, to TWSBI, what an amazing experience writing with The Heart of Darkness by Noodlers in it. It just flowed and flowed, and I've been writing a little story, and, you know, I just had, like, stuff in my head that I wanted to get on paper, and so it was very nice to have that pen be so reliable with that ink, and it was just super fun, and it was fun to write it all out of the ink, and or out of the pen. I decided just to try another and see if I had a good long-term writing experience with the Green Marine as well as with the Heart of Darkness. So that's it. If I had to pick a favorite of those two, they would be tied. I could not pick a favorite if I had to. Thank goodness I don't have to. And I think this will be an interesting experiment this week. Which pen do I prefer having filled with the Scotch Brown by Monteverde? So that's all for now. I hope you have a good weekend. If you have a mom, you are a mom, or there's a mom type person in your life, I hope you have a good celebration. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.